Morning. Well, it's that time of the week again. I guess they don't play tomorrow, do they?
Play Monday night.
Who they
But
play?
it's Browns week.
This didn't age well. They play the Browns.
Yeah, buddy.
So I believe the only reason Dad's a Browns fan is because of it being our last name.
Something like that.
Why aren't you a Browns fan?
You ever been to Cleveland?
Yeah.
There's not much.
There's not much in Cincinnati either. I've been there too.
It's Queen City. It's the jewel of the Ohio River.
Okay.
What are you looking for, a prediction?
Yeah.
I mean, it's Browns week, so
Your previous ones have been a little off.
Yeah, it's Browns week, so it's 152-0.
52-0.
152-0.
Okay.
There will be no field goals given up this week.
He's awful needy, isn't he? You load on the tarp side?
No.
No.
What?
I was just wondering.
YouTube told me I wasn't allowed to do that.
I think you're gonna miss. Right here, BJ's making a pipe bag ticket. And then when Brad tests it up there, he'll finish the ticket. This field we're in, we have a kind of a test plot in it. We've got, I think, 6 different hybrids in here. I don't think we're quite to the plot yet. I don't even know if we're gonna do the plot today. That should be coming off here soon. Just kind of no real research purposes other than just for our own, kind of see how the different hybrids stack up against each other. This field's pretty rectangular, or at least on this side of it, pretty squared up. So we kind of play around in this field about every year. So a lot of people were asking in previous videos last week if they ever figured out what was wrong with the Gleaner, why it was eating up those transmission couplers. The only thing we can come up with is that the transmission has an issue, like it's not like perfectly lined up or something. So today, it is not in the field, it is getting a new transmission. Ohio Ag got us a transmission. They called Dad, I think either yesterday or this morning, said it was in. And they got a guy, I don't know if he's here yet, but they're gonna start putting it in today. So hopefully that is the last coupler we put in this thing. But for now, we're gonna use the cloths. Now, if something would happen and we are unable to use that Gleaner for an extended period, they are going to bring us another combine if that happens. But the way they talk, this thing should be up and going pretty soon. Like longer, it would take longer to get the combine here than we would be down, I guess, is kind of what we were told. So yeah, should have the Gleaner back in the field pretty soon. So once again, Ohio Ag, excellent service. But for now, we're gonna try to knock out some more bushels. This is pretty good corn. Dad cannot make it all the way down, so he's having to dump going down and going back. So right now he's waiting on BJ. Corn in fields like this kind of make you wish you had 2 grain carts. Now we do have another grain cart, we just don't have another person to run it. And even if we did, we can't get rid of the grain fast enough to matter. And now we wait. Heck yeah, keeping up with them today. Pulling in just in time to get loaded. We haven't even used the other semi, but Brad and I are both driving.
Well, we're, what is it? About 4 o'clock. I don't know what time we start now. But anyway, we're down here in the bottoms, and the corn's good. Closer the river gets, better. We got a different variety, and we haven't done. And it was good last year. Seed salt's 11-20 or 11-12, and it's really good. Probably the best corn I've been in so far. Done looks like about 7,200 bushels so far. Waiting on BJ and dump. They're keeping up pretty good. Brad, Brian got 3 trucks, and I think they're really using 2, but they're keeping up with us pretty good. Just go up and dump. So here comes BJ, looks like. Gonna go down and back.
park load, semi-load. Nice long road, nice shallow. I don't want to read that. If you see that, that's what that corn's running. Right down here, loops per hour. Fuel, 14.7 gallon, 15 gallon an hour. We ain't going hard. At the end, this is neighbor's field. The next one's bean stubble, and on up there he's got corn each shell. He's got 6 international. Don't farm much by himself. And went to school with him, good fella. And right on over there is our corn, 180 acres, that strip over there, and it looks like it's awful good corn too. So that'll probably be the next one. Well, that's all we got left on this farm after we get this field. That's still a few hours, 50 acres though. Right?
I have lost track of what load number we're on, how many we've done, but progress continues. Nice thing about these big fields is you can get a lot done. Bad thing is when they decide to go from one end to the other, you got a long walk. Now it looks like Dad did leave the test plot, but we are making a pretty big dent in this field. I would say that we will probably have about 50 acres of this 160 left, and most of that's this test plot. There'll be some down here. We're filling up on wet space now. Closer we get to the river, the wetter it is. It's not super wet, but it is 19%. We gotta dry 4 points out of it. That will take a while with that old dryer. And the old wet tanks, they're not very big. That's all right. We're making progress. And then straight over there, along those trees, we have a 186 acre cornfield. We haven't even started on that one yet. Here you can really see the differences in corn. It's a different variety. This one's really short. I'd say it's still good corn. I mean, it looks like it's got some big ears on it. There's 2 different varieties right here. Both of them are short. Then we'll get back over here and there's a big tall variety. And then there's another variety down here. See, I think there's 6 right here. We got a Channel, a DeKalb, a Pioneer, Seed Consultants. I think there's a Seed Genetics. So lots of different corns in there. Now we know that that's not the most scientific way to test corn varieties. I mean, for one thing, these were all planted on a different date, but they're all planted within 5 days because we put most of the corn in the ground in 5 days. So there's a little bit of variance there. It's like a 2.5 acre strip of each variety too. So there's a little bit of variance, but I mean, it's a real world test for us. So that's why we like to do it. Dad was saying that this is some of the best corn he's been in all year. That's phenomenal, that's good. That's what we want to hear. Make the shot bigger. Let's add on 50 feet.
Well, this last round, call it night, done 13,000 boots, a little better. That's pretty good. 6 o'clock, 2 o'clock. It's 6 o'clock now. That's 6 o'clock. Now ain't bad for us. Good corn. We've been we're caught up with it. So we probably have to be waiting on the truck now. So maybe we'll call quits Saturday night.
Pretty sure Dad and BJ just came up out of the bottom. This truck will pretty well top off our wet tanks, and they were waiting on a truck, so they just went ahead and shut her down, I guess. But yes, they're definitely back. The shed's shut up. I'd say they went after that truck that's down there. So heck yeah, we're gonna get off work early tonight. It's only 6:30.
Well, look at here coming. He's truck driving today. Full?
Huh?
Full?
Pretty close. The grease fade right, you joint. Can't get to it.
Can I put this picture on there?
Part of the update will load.
Morning. So we got a high wag down here today. They are finishing up that transmission on the Gleaner. It will be back in action today. We also are, while they're down here, we have a steering system for the Gleaner corn head, or the Capella corn head on our Gleaner. It's one of the things we thought we would put on, we never have. So just happened to have it. I was like, hey, well, you guys put this on, so they are doing that. So we will even be able to have steering while combining corn, which will be great. Right now we're gonna come over here and take our dryer off. Well, we did get a little bit of rain this morning. Not enough to really amount to anything. Just enough to make you wish it would rain more. Almost took the old batch dryer off hold, but we need to go over here and make sure that we're going to the right spot. We're good. So this is our consigner. This is what we use to tell the distributor up top at the grain leg what bin to go to. So we're going to number 1 bin. We have a green light, means it's going to number 1 bin. This is number 1 bin. It's not very full. So So we're gonna let that dryer run into it. Turn it off, hold. Dryer starts dumping, and we're good to go. Now we have been having some issues with this dryer where every now and then it won't light. And that's because we've got a couple parts that need replaced that are, well, we're kind of waiting on those, so we don't have them yet. We may have plans to do an upgrade over here. Could be the last year for that old dryer. If this all happens, there'll be a lot of stuff going on in this area over the off season. None of the bins are changing, none of the legs changing, but we may have a dryer and an air system over here next year, which would be a huge improvement for efficiency at this setup. It's time for some Monday Night Football. See if BJ's is ready for the big game.
Hooray!
You don't have your Bengals gear on today. Now we're fueling up Old Dutch. That's the hint I'm going to give you for what this demo combine is. It's still here. It's leaving soon. We got to put fuel in it. So we got to fuel it up so that it can go to where it's going. Travis is the Gleaner guru. He's the one putting the steering system in. So is that plug at number 3? Is that where you got to plug into? Or?
There's supposed to be a 1-inch blank hole for me to use, according to Reichard, on newer than 16 models.
It ain't what we used for ag lead. Big Mama running errands in the big truck. So everybody said, well, why don't you just program the seat so Kayla has a sitting? I don't even know how to program it for me. See? Apparently the last owner didn't either. All right, so the guys from Ohio Ag, they are getting that steering system working. Those row feelers, that's going to be pretty awesome. Glad we had them do that because it would have taken us way longer than one morning. But I'm going to go over and spread some fertilizer. We're waiting on them. It is now actually 3 o'clock, so I don't know that we're going to get a harvest today or not. But I'm going to go over and spread some fertilizer. We're waiting on them guys, and maybe here in a little bit we'll try some corn. I don't know. I would like to test that Gleaner, make sure everything's going to work on it. Tomorrow we're going to make a 5-mile move up the road and do some corn, so I'd like to run that thing here before we make that move. So Brad went and got 2 loads of fertilizer this morning. That is all the wheat fertilizer, so we now have enough to finish. Man, you can see exactly where I stopped the other day. That is crazy. Different emergence, different plant date, or there's nothing planted there, one of the two. So this is the field that the fan on the Avatar blew apart in, so there was like a 2-day gap. I got planted like right where I'm at, and then it took a couple days to get that fan, so there's a couple day plant date difference, but it'll all be out of the ground here pretty soon. I mean, we haven't got a lot of rain, but we have got enough to get that wheat to pop out of the ground, I do believe. All right, I just left over at the other grain bins. They are calibrating or programming or something that Reichard box. That's the manufacturer of the row feelers we just had them put on that combine. They're calibrating that and they're hitting some hang-ups, so it's not looking really good for combining today. It's 5 something. I'm going trick-or-treating with the kids then. I think BJ might go trick-or-treating with his kids. And I guess we'll run corn tomorrow. So we will be taking a 0 today and not getting any corn done. That's all right. Been waiting on rain days to do this stuff. Just haven't had any rain days. We're gonna put this thing up for now. Happy Halloween, everybody. We'll see you guys tomorrow. And yeah, everybody will be happy. Corn will get done. Production will get underway again. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Hey guys, I do want to take a minute to thank Ohio Ag and North Star. North Star supplied that transmission. Ohio Ag threw it in there, and I want to thank them guys for coming out on a Sunday, getting us up and going. Service has been top notch.